Yo, what is good, guys? It's JDL, and a couple months ago I posted a video where I asked you guys if you wanted me to go over my weight loss tips on this channel, because I have gone down from about 230 pounds at my peak to 185. Now I'm resting in the 190s, and I'm at a weight that I'm pretty happy with. So I'm gonna break this video up into 3 sections: exercise, food, and kind of just overall wrapping around general tips. This video is not going to be something that just gives you like an easy, do this for 2 months and you'll lose weight. It's kind of more just like general lifestyle tips that you're gonna have to use for the rest of your life, but they'll make you a lot healthier, they'll help you lose weight, they'll help you reach a nice equilibrium. So off the bat with exercise, you have to do weight training. And the reason you have to do weight training above all else, and this is something I really didn't understand for a long time, let's say every day right now you have a daily calorie expenditure of 2,000. For some people, it can be really hard to stay within 2,000 calories, especially if you're heavier to begin with. But the more muscle you build through weight training, the more your calorie budget goes up every single day. For lifting weights, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. There's a million different ways you can do it. Personally, I'm more of a low rep, high weight type of guy. It's just the kind of workouts I enjoy doing. I like doing more explosive lower body workouts. The most important thing is that you're progressing. So whatever workout plan you do, you need to be progressing. You want to progress, week over week, 2 weeks over 2 weeks, month over month. You just want to be getting stronger and stronger, because that way, if your real goal is just, losing weight, getting thinner, getting healthier, the more you progress, the more your calorie budget is going to go up. And that's honestly the most important thing. That alone, over like almost anything else I help tell you in this video, is gonna help you lose weight, as crazy as it sounds. It's not gonna be instant results, it might take a long time, but it's long-term sustainability. And the reason I can say that is because the #1 tip, if you watch pretty much any weight loss video on YouTube, the #1 tip you're gonna get from like pretty much everyone is like, cut out alcohol. And I lost all of this weight while not doing that. So to be honest, if you can just do the exercise portion, you're off to a great start. The diet does matter a lot, and we're gonna get into diet, but you can have a vice, you can have a cheat, you can have all of those things. I love beer. I'm going to Oktoberfest in a month. But the reason that doesn't kill me is because my daily calorie budget is so much higher than it was when I was at my heaviest. And the more muscle you build, the more fit you get, the more you're allowing yourself to miss a day and it not affect you as much. You're kind of just giving yourself a better margin for error, if that makes sense. So again, the main thing is begin weight training, begin resistance training, and progress. You really just want to progress. You want to raise your calorie budget. Obviously, there are so many other benefits to exercising. There's almost a countless amount of benefits that all cascade into helping you exercise more, that help you eat healthier. But I'm strictly gonna focus more on getting thinner, losing weight in this video. The other huge thing for exercise is increase your step count. I don't know what your step count is today, but your goal should be to up it by 2,000. If you're at 6,000 or below, make it a goal to up your daily step count by 2,000. If you're above 6,000, just try to up your step count by 1,000. Like going forward, up it by 1,000. Me personally, I wish I could be better. When I was at my lowest, I probably had a daily step count in the 3,000 to 4,000s. My step count now is about 7,500 for the year 2024. And my goal next year is to get a step count of 8,000. It's just that daily walking and getting up, just keeping your body active, even if it's like zone 1 cardio, there's different zones of cardio, but you just want to get your step count up. The faster you walk, obviously the better. You kind of just want to slightly elevate your heart rate throughout the day. Be up, be active. It's what's natural for the human body. It's not natural for us to be sitting in a chair all day long. Now, sometimes walking can be really, really, really boring. And for me, I feel like, with exercise, with everything you're doing, giving purpose to it makes it a lot easier. So for me, walking my dog gives a purpose to walking, because I'm not someone who, to be honest, enjoys just randomly walking. It's not really my favorite thing to do. Another thing I might do is, even though I make coffee at home, I might just go to a coffee shop that's a 15-minute walk away, because it gets me out of the house, it gets me moving, it gives me a purpose to my walk. If you're someone who struggles walking, definitely bring headphones, listen to a podcast, listen to music, just get your step count up. That's the big thing. I mean, that's helped me so much. There's also just a lot of benefits to walking as well. I mean, again, all of these benefits for walking. It's great for your mental health, as is exercise. But if you struggle to go to the gym, if you struggle to walk, find a purpose to why you're doing it, and it'll help you do it. If I need extra steps in the day, sometimes I will also just put on some YouTube videos on my phone on the treadmill, and it makes walking a lot more fun. I think a lot of people go to the gym because they want their bodies to look better. For me, I don't really care about looking like the most muscular dude ever. For me, I just want to be better at basketball. That's really all I care about, which is why I do like explosive workouts for my lower body instead of like heavy duty squatting and stuff. But I'm progressing. when I do it. Now, I think a lot of people are gonna ask, what about cardio? I play basketball. I play pickleball with my friends. You know, I like to go swimming with my friends when I can. I don't do dedicated cardio like running, distance running, because I just get really hungry. When I do a lot of cardio, I get really hungry. That's not the same for everybody. I know my friend Jason, he gets really hungry from lifting weights. For whatever reason, lifting weights doesn't make me hungry, but a lot of cardio does. So for me, cardio doesn't work as well. That's the personal reason I don't do a lot of dedicated cardio outside of sports, and I just get bored. I don't like to jog. I don't like doing all that. That's not to say I don't. Sometimes at the end of my workouts, I will do like high intensity, you know, sprinting or different high intensity for short spurts, but that's kind of my whole workout regimen in general, is I'm much more of a short spurts type of guy than a overall thing. Before we talk about food, my personal recommendation is work out in the morning, get it over with. During the course of a day, anything could happen. Something might come up that might throw you off. There's so many things that can happen over the course of the day that by the time it's 6 p.m., you either might be too tired, you might be too stressed, you might have something else going on, you might have social obligations for dinners or something like that, and it just makes it a little bit tricky to work out. In my opinion, working out in the morning is the best. Now, one thing I hate about all of these YouTube advice videos, even though I'm a YouTuber, is that I feel like a lot of the advice when it comes to food or when it comes to exercise is like, yeah, you should just, you know, work out every day at 9 in the morning. But it's easy for a YouTuber to say that because I don't have to be anywhere at 9 in the morning. So I do sympathize with people who it might be really difficult to work out in the morning, because I know some people, if you start work at 8 a.m., then by the time you're gonna work out like 6:20 in the morning, that can be kind of tough. I do work out better in the afternoon, but I'm more consistent when my workout times are in the morning. So I would definitely recommend trying to find a way to work out in the morning, but if that's not what works for you, it's not what works for you. Key takeaways: the more you walk, gain strength, the more your daily calorie budget will go up. That alone will help you lose weight. But let's talk about food. Okay, food. Let's get the basics out of the way. Cut sugary drinks, all that out of the way. Like no soda, you don't need soda, you probably don't need boba tea. I do drink Jamba Juice from time to time, but honestly, my Jambas usually kind of fill in as half of a meal nowadays. But as much as you can, cut out sugary drinks. I think especially here in the United States, eating some added sugars is kind of inevitable. You just want to cut out as much as you possibly can. And another rule that will help with that is try to avoid snacks, try to avoid meals that don't have protein. Like pasta with no protein, probably not that good. Like any snack that doesn't have protein, I strongly don't recommend. Protein helps you feel fuller, and that's like really important. Protein also helps you build muscle, which goes hand in hand with exercising. I know a lot of workout YouTubers will say you should eat 0.8 grams to 1 gram per body weight. So if you weigh 190 pounds, that would be 190 grams of protein a day. That's pretty hard to hit, honestly, especially when you're staying in your calorie budget. If you make one, I personally don't track my calories anymore. I think it's healthy to do tracking calories for a little bit, but I don't know if it's healthy or necessary to do it every day. Personally, it's tedious, it takes a lot of time. You hear from a fitness influencer that's like, oh yeah, track your calories. Really easy to do when your whole job is taking care of your fitness. When you have school or 9 to 5, it's not really reasonable. So I don't think it's necessary, but this is the thing that I'm gonna say that I think will scare a lot of people, but try to avoid highly processed foods. Like full stop, you don't need them. And you'll be amazed at how much less food you eat once you cut out highly processed foods. There's a lot of times, like when you're listening to nutrition, you'll see people debate like white rice versus brown rice. And straight up, brown rice is better for you. And people will be like, why? They're the same calories, they have similar macronutrients. The less processed food is, the more energy it takes for your body to break it down, and the more full you feel. You feel significantly more full eating whole grains, whole foods than you do eating processed foods. Everything works better and it helps you prevent overeating. Also, there's a million benefits to not eating processed foods, like not getting Alzheimer's, not getting dementia. So it's really good for your long-term health regardless of how much you weigh. I think some people are clicking on this video because they're like, what is your super hack? So one thing to think about with protein, especially when you are gonna count calories for the beginning, just to have an idea of where you should be going, what I like to think about is maintaining a ratio of like 10 calories per protein. Because then, let's say you weigh 200 pounds, you would eat 200 grams of protein, that would get you to 2,000 calories. If you can stay roughly within like 10 to 14, 15 calories per protein. Mind you, one protein is 4 calories on its own. You're gonna be in a really good spot. And I will say the one true superfood, in my opinion, is yogurt. So this is a yogurt with added sugar. It has the cherry in it. This is 120 calories. It is 12 protein. Boom, 1:10 ratio. Here's plain yogurt. A lot of times I'll have plain yogurt with a scoop of peanut butter, bananas, and some peanut butter granola. Like the peanut butter granola has 5 protein to 120, so it's not great on that ratio, but this is 14 protein for 130 calories. So it's better than that 1:10. And honestly, there are other brands that are even better ratios than that for yogurt. You can do fat or non-fat. Personally, don't think it matters. Fat isn't bad for you. It's good for your brain. So yogurt, in my opinion, is a true superfood because you can always stay under that ratio of 1 protein to 10 calories with your other macronutrients. And that will help you a lot when you're being really diligent about your protein intake. Yogurt is just, it's also super filling because of how much protein is in it. So I can't speak enough about how good yogurt is. It's also good for probiotics. It's just great for your gut health. Like, this is a true superfood, in my opinion. I don't really think there's any other food that even compares to this. I can't stress enough how good yogurt is for weight loss. You get a ton of protein while also getting very little calories, which helps you stay way under your daily budget. I don't have it every day, but I do have it multiple times a week. I'm actually fresh out because I ate it all yesterday, but another thing is I don't really keep snacks in my cupboard. I've got my whole grains, I've got, you know, my granola, I've got my oils, but I don't keep snacks. I don't keep snacks in my fridge. I don't keep snacks in my cupboard. I don't really eat snacks other than fruit. Fruit is my one exception to the whole, like, try to have protein with every meal. It's just healthier. I know fruit has its natural sugars, which are better for you than added sugars. And fruit, again, because it is a whole food, it is more filling than an alternative carb-heavy snack. And it has fiber, so it's good for your digestion. It's just, eating whole foods is so much better. Again, this is another one of those tips that I do think if you're a viewer at home can be like, that's easy for you. You work from home, you can go to the grocery market more often. That is true. I will give you that. But do whatever you can to replace your Ritz crackers, your standard stacks with fruit. Do whatever you can to do that the best you can. If you can't do that, it's not the end of the world if you have those bag snacks. When I go to Jesse's Warehouse, they have those on deck, and I usually do eat like 2 of them. So once a week, I have that little cheat. On the topic of cheating, I think one rule I've come up with for myself that I think is really helpful, and it's helped a lot of my friends, is if you're going to cheat, don't do it alone. So if you're going to have a cheat meal, don't have your cheat meal by yourself. Like, never have a cheat meal alone. Make having a cheat meal always be part of a social thing, and I think that'll just be healthier for you anyway. To be honest, going to dinner and being like, I'm on a diet, kind of a buzzkill, straight up. Don't make your diet like a part of other people's conversation. In my opinion, it's just a lot easier that if you're diligent, if you are strict about your habits when you're alone, you've opened up the opportunity to be more free when you're with your friends. And I think the whole way I go about it is, you know, you're cutting out processed foods, you're cutting out all these things. It just feeds into each other and it makes it really easy to maintain. And then when you're with friends, you can cheat. If you're like me and your vice is having a beer, go ahead, have a beer. But don't have a beer when you're by yourself. One more thing is avoid baked goods as much as you can. This is a book called Are You Fully Charged? It is a kind of a book just how to have good energy every single day. And a lot of what I'm telling you is obviously already part of that, but I wanted to read this one passage to you. Comfort foods like baked goods actually have the opposite effect of comfort and are more likely to make you depressed because they're full of trans fatty acids, they're full of the added sugars. These things actually can affect your mood in a bad way, which puts you into bad habits. It's very subtle. Having a croissant, having a donut's not gonna make you pissed, but every day it's very, very subtle, but it's hard to describe because it sounds so difficult in the world we live in to like give up processed foods, but I actually don't think it is. Once you do it, you realize it's really not that hard. And honestly, I think whole foods just taste better. But part of that journey for anybody is you have to learn how to cook. Straight up, learning how to cook, the biggest thing. Even if you chose the healthy meal at every restaurant you went to, you would still probably have a little bit of a fattier face because restaurants, they just use more oil, they use more salt than you're gonna use at home. That's just how it is. And I highly recommend just learning how to cook. And you don't need to know recipes, right? You just need to know basics. You need to know I can go to the grocery market, buy some chicken thighs, I know I'm gonna season them, I know I'm gonna do all that. And you wanna make cooking the path of least resistance, right? Like pressure cooker for rice. You don't have to actually cook the rice. You just put the rice in, you put the water in, put some salt in, you're done. Again, chicken thighs, really easy. Chicken, bowl, seasoning, cook, plate, eat, store the rest for later. I don't do the influencer style of like, I've meal prepped for the whole week because that's no way to eat. Let's be honest, that's really no way to eat. So what I like to do is if I buy like a thing of chicken thighs, I'm gonna get 2 or 3 meals out of that. This isn't the most cost-effective way, it's what works for me. You can do what works for you. For example, yesterday I made these chicken tacos. Today, I still have all the leftover ingredients to make those chicken tacos again. Or I might make the chicken a lot more plain. I might only season it with salt and pepper, and then the next time I reheat it, I might cook it with like a Asian style sauce and serve it over rice. There's so many different ways you can just, you know, serve chicken alone. I'm going to link Ethan Schlabowski's channel. He is a food YouTuber, and I think he is the best YouTuber for understanding how to become a weekday cook and how to meal prep in a way that's fun and exciting, and to just fall in love with cooking in a way that makes it really easy to eat healthy and a diversity of food at the same time. You want to keep the kitchen organized. At any time, I could grab my brown rice. I could grab my quinoa or my couscous. And I super highly recommend getting reusable containers because it'll save you money other than the initial cost, because you're gonna always know how much you need. You won't buy it again until you know you need it. I can't describe how many times you go to somebody's house where they just keep their spices and their oils by the stove, and they have like 4 different olive oils, 10 different paprikas. Like, you don't need to do that. If you make the initial investment to get organized, it will make your life a lot easier. You'll save money because you won't be double buying things. And honestly, it makes the cooking process just 1,000 times easier. It's like an initial thing that might seem like a drag to set up, but honestly, once you set it up, you're golden. You're organized. It's so much easier to just cook. It's easier to clean. Everything is just easier. And that's the one thing. You want to make this journey the path of least resistance. You want to make it easy for yourself. So to recap food, try to eat higher protein. Try to keep your protein ratio between 1 protein to 15 total calories. Eat whole, unprocessed food. If you're gonna cheat with your friends. But what is really nice about this is all of these feed into each other. If you exercise and you walk more, it helps regulate your metabolism. It helps you sleep. The better you sleep, the better your focus, the more willing you're gonna be able to cook and clean and do all these things that seem like barriers when you're cooking. The better you eat, the better your mood's gonna be, the better your workouts are gonna be. And the thing is, it cycles into each other, right? This is what worked for me to lose weight. This is how I lost weight. It was going consistently to the gym, eating healthy. What's crazy too is I lost the majority of this weight during the phase of my YouTube career where I was doing videos like this, because outside of doing those videos, I was just really diligent about eating super healthy. So that's how I lost the weight, guys. I know this video seems probably like one of the more harder methods to losing weight, which is like refocus your entire health journey. But there's so many cascading benefits to it that you'll be shocked at how much weight you lose, how much better you feel, how much more mentally strong you feel. It's amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. Peace.